Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnur, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Madhura Madhura Metan Mangalam Mangalanam Sakala Nigamavalli Satphalam Chitswarupam Sakridapi Parigitam Shraddhaya Helayava Bhriguvarnarmatram Tarayet Krishnanam Namah Kamalana Bhaya Namah Kamalama Line Namah Kamala Padaya Namaste Kamalekshana Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tagvam Ha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Dear devotees of God, today we celebrate Janmashtami. Towards the end of the Dwapar Yuga, Supreme Lord Krishna descends to earth and he graces this world for a little more than 100 years. He leaves behind his pastimes. He leaves behind so many stories that inspire us and that help us fall in love with him. He has countless attributes, countless virtues. Everything about him is unlimited. His names are unlimited, his glory is unlimited, his pastimes are unlimited, his devotees are unlimited, his powers are unlimited. The greatest power of his is the power of Kripa, Kripa Shakti. This Shakti, this power to grace individual souls, is the most beneficial for us. For we are sinners, we are offenders in the eyes of God. Just as there are rules in this world, every country has its own rules, laws, and if we break them, we citizens of that country, we are subject to punishment. Likewise, God has his laws, his rules. If we break them, we are considered sinners, we are offenders, and we are subject to punishment. One of the tasks that God performs is that he takes note of all our actions and gives us the fruits of each and every action. Punyena punya lokam nayati papena papam ubhabhyameva manushya lokam. Prashnopanishad says, virtuous actions beget virtuous results, sinful actions beget sinful results. Every action has a reaction. That action may be good or bad or devotional or a mixture of good and bad. One of the tasks that Sri Krishna performs is that of a judge, a neutral judge, Nyayadhish. He imparts justice. But when we approach him, we don't think of him as the judge who is judging our actions and giving us the fruits of our actions. We become frightened when we think of him as a judge, because we know we have committed so many wrongs. We are offenders, we are sinners. We would never go towards him, we wouldn't have the courage to go towards him if we did not know that he is merciful, causelessly merciful, that he has a stock of unlimited mercy. Although we have committed unlimited sins, but if we go to him, he will forgive us. If we genuinely ask for forgiveness, he forgives. That does not mean that we commit an offense, then we say, I'm sorry. Then we commit another offense or the same offense. Again, we say, pardon me. I am a sinner, forgive me. And then we go again and commit more crimes, more sins. A Sufi saint has said, Idar gahe, madar gahe, na umedi vest. Na umedi vest, sadbar toba shikasti vaza. God is so merciful that even if you have committed countless sins, if you approach him and ask for forgiveness, he will forgive you. So that is a power. The power to grace individual souls is the power that is the most useful for us. That is a power knowing about which we are encouraged to go towards him. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to show him our face. We do not have the courage to go up to him and look him in the eye because we are offenders. But he is merciful, and so without any hesitation, we go to him. We know that we'll be forgiven. Even in the world, when we see a person who is very, very important, for whatever reason, oh, that person, well, he's the president of the country, very important. We hesitate. And we know that we can't really approach him, that he can't be our friend. But when we find out, oh, he's the president, but he has a good sense of humor, and he's very kind, and he's very humble. It could be the president, it could be someone else who occupies a very high position in society. Oh, so many people know her face because, she's an actress. Oh, but, she's very humble. She's very easy to get along with. She doesn't put on airs. Then we say, oh, even though we may not know that person, we feel that, yes, this could be my friend. So we see even in the world, we're not impressed by somebody's power or prestige. We don't care how much money he or she has. We do not care about that. We don't care what position you hold. What attracts us to a person is humble nature, loving nature. That wins over everything else. Kind nature, kindness, humility, the ability to forgive and forget. Someone who makes you feel good when you are in their company. That person doesn't have to hold a high position, but that person will hold in society, but that person will hold great, very high position in our heart. So it's natural that God, who is above everyone and above everything, mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, O Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth, O Arjun, know that there is no one beyond me. There is no one greater than myself. So he, the Lord of all, it goes without saying that he has unlimited grace, unlimited kindness, unlimited humility. When a devotee of God reads the Bhagavad Mahapuran, then he flips the pages which describe Lord Krishna killing demons. And he likes to linger on those pages that describe Yashoda scolding Krishna. Yashoda taking a stick in her hand and threatening Kanhaiya. Kanhaiya, you see this stick? And then seeing that stick, that little, thin little stick in his mother's hands, Kanhaiya begins to tremble. And tears flow from his eyes. We love to linger on those pages. We love to think about those pastimes. We know that he's the Lord of countless universes. We know that. We say to him, "Ha, honge tum." Yes, you are the Lord, but I want you as my friend. You're my beloved. You're my best friend. You're my child. And even when we think of him as a Lord and Master, we relate to him as a Lord and Master because he is truly the kindest, the most humble, the most loving and most forgiving Lord and Master. Sri Krishna says to the Pandavas, you wish to give me honor, you wish to honor me during your yajna, but I will agree to this honor you're giving me only if you agree with one of my conditions, one condition of mine. My condition is that after you have fed all the Brahmins, the leaves, you're serving food to them on the big leaves, large leaves. After they have finished eating, you will permit me to pick up the pattal, the leaves from which the Brahmins have eaten. You'll allow me to dispose of those leaves. Do you agree to this condition? Reluctantly, the Pandavas had to agree. This is so lovable. This is such a lovable trait of Krishna. And you see, we don't call him Lord Krishna all the time. We call him Krishna, Kanhaiya. He comes down to our level. He is so kind, so merciful. He comes down to our level and we can relate to him as our good friend. He is kind, he is humble. These qualities appeal to us. And they encourage us to love him. No one has ever been able to love God who is a punishing God. If you think about God as a punishing God, if you think of God as being the strict disciplinarian, only as a strict disciplinarian, if you think of him as one who will strike you with a thunderbolt if you do something wrong, then you would not be able to love him. And indeed, this is the image of God stuck in many, many minds, and this is why those people find it so difficult, if not impossible, to go near God. And we have been taught, we were taught in childhood that, God is watching. So a fear was instilled in our heart. God is watching. That is true, that God is watching. But we were not told that it's a merciful God who is watching. We got the idea that it's a punishing God. It's one who is very angry. It's an angry God who will strike you dead if you do something terrible. Someone who will put you down in hell if you do something wrong. And so when a true guru enters our lives, then we learn from that Sadguru, from that true guru, that God is above all very loving, very forgiving. We have committed countless wrongs. We are sinners of great, great proportions. And yet he was so kind to give us the opportunity of being a human once again. He gave to us fruits of our actions, not only the bad actions, not only the sinful deeds, but also of our devotional actions that we have forgotten about. Who amongst us remembers how much devotion we've done in the past? Just like we don't remember all the sins we have committed in the past, likewise, we do not remember all the devotion we've done in the past. But Sri Krishna is so merciful that he takes account, he keeps account of countless actions, countless good actions, countless sinful deeds, countless devotional acts, and he gives us the fruits of those actions at the appropriate time. Otherwise, we would be nowhere. If we think about it, how much we would love him if we just thought about what he does for us. Think about it. He lives in our heart, and our heart is filled with some very nasty thoughts and ideas. Our heart is filled with negative thoughts, sinful thoughts. Even we would not want to live in our own heart, but he lives there. We did not ask him, we did not request him to live there, but he lives there because he loves us. Even though we are thinking against him, the atheist says there's no such thing as God. Someone who thinks that God has done something terrible in his life, he says, I hate you, God, and I don't believe in you, and even if you're there, I hate you. You're so cruel. God even graces that individual. He doesn't grace only the ones who love him and adore him, the ones who live for him and die for him. He loves even those who shun him and abuse him. He gives us air. He gives us the ability to breathe so that we may stay alive. He gives us water. He gives us the 5 elements without which we could not survive. He gives us food, gives us shelter. He gives us everything without our asking him for anything. Even though we do not love him, even though he is millions of miles away from our mind, but he's very mindful of each and every one of us. And what to speak of humans? Panchi kare na chakari, ajgar kare na kam. He is so merciful to birds, insects, and animals. He takes care of all his children, all his creatures, not only the good ones who love him, but also the ones who shun and abuse him, and also the ones who don't even believe in him. Think about it. There's a father, and the father has a son, and the son says, Dad, I don't even believe you're my father. I don't believe you. I don't believe in you. And the father's still leaving property to his son. No, he'll say, really? You don't believe in me? Well, I don't believe in you then. I will not give you anything of mine. Not a single cent. But God is not like that. He graces everyone equally. He provides for all his children. He does not say to Ravan, look, you're my enemy. You've sought enmity with me. So next time you go to take a drink of water, I'll make sure that I'll turn that water into poison. Go and drink some water. He doesn't say that. He is so lovable that he even loves his enemies. He's so merciful, he bestows his mercy without even a reason. Everything that we look for in a person, we say, oh, I love this person. Why? Because, oh, she's so kind. So kind. But people are kind to us if we are kind to them. If a person is kind to us, try being unkind to the person who's kind to you. After a while, that person will show you no kindness. Unless it's some saintly soul, very high devotee, advanced devotee, an average person will not show you kindness if you do not respond to that kindness and if you don't reciprocate. We say, oh, I love him so much, he loves me so much, so I love him so much. But when the reason for loving you comes to an end, he will not love you anymore. Does he love you without a reason? No. He loves you because of your money. He loves you because of your beauty. He loves you because of your knowledge, because he can learn something from you, because he can get something from you. Every person in the world, he, she, doesn't matter, regardless of the gender, every person loves another for a reason. But Shri Krishna loves without a reason. There's no reason for him to love us. What can we give to him? Nothing. Everything we have in our possession was a gift from him. We have nothing to give him. Even if we give him everything, we have not given him anything that was ours and that was not his in the first place. But he loves us. He says, you are my eternal children. Whether you believe that I am your father or disbelieve, regardless, I will love you because I believe that you are my child. You are eternally mine. If we think about this, then we will fall head over heels in love with him. It's just a matter of thinking about it. It's just a matter of paying attention to what God does. And to do that, to really appreciate God, we need to spend some time away from the world. That doesn't mean you have to leave home. You have to go very far away from home. It could mean just coming to the temple or even sitting in your own house. Coming to the temple certainly helps. But for people who have no temple, no place of worship near them, are they doomed? No, you can worship at home. But we need to spend time alone with him. I see people coming here, and because it's a very calm environment, we don't speak about worldly matters in this hall. Everybody knows that. And even newcomers come to find out very quickly. So when people come here, I see them sitting in quiet reflection, and that's a very good thing. We need to spend some time alone. We need to think. We need to get away from the busy world. We need to get away from lots of sounds and sights of the world. We need to get away even from family members, friends, and well-wishers. We need to get away from everybody so that we may have a one-on-one with God. Our time alone with God. Typically, a married woman with children says, well, I'm so busy with my family. That's not a valid excuse. A typical family man may say, well, I have a wife, I have kids, I'm too busy. Not a valid excuse. I'm too busy with my grandkids, you see, I'm babysitting them now. Not a valid excuse. We are cheating ourselves if we don't take the time out and have a one-on-one with God. In that time, alone time, a lot of people say, I don't like to be alone. That's not good. We must enjoy our alone time, because in those quiet moments, we can think about the deep truths of life. We can ponder the important questions of life. Regularly, our mind is coming up with questions like, what's on TV? Who can I talk to right now? What am I going to eat? Usually we're thinking about worldly matters. I need new shoes. I need to go to the mall. We're thinking worldly thoughts, pondering worldly questions. I wonder what she's doing right now. Let me give her a call. Let me send a message. Throughout the day, just inspect your thoughts for one day, only one day, and you'll find that most of those thoughts, if not all of them, are pertaining to the world. So we need to spend some time alone when we can think about important questions in life, such as, what is my life all about? Am I improving as an individual? Am I getting closer to God? Am I more in love with Him this year than I was last year at this time? Am I improving Is my anger subsiding? Are my worldly attachments shrinking? What am I here to do? What does my Guru teach? Am I following those teachings? Questions such as these need to be asked. We need to spend time alone so that we may have a relationship with God. We concern ourselves so much with our worldly relationships. We pay so much attention to them and we value them. We spend time. Oh, I think this would be a good friend for me. So we invest our time, don't we? Oh, I've got to go to that party because she's inviting me, he's inviting me, and I want him to be a good friend of mine. So I got to accept. We spend so much time on growing our worldly relationships. What about our true and eternal relationship? On this day of Janmashtami, let's think about that. These festive days are not just for festivities. We as Hindus, we know of so many festivals. Out of 365 days in a year, Jagadguru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says that almost every day is a festival day. It's a festive day. There's some significance or another attached to every single day of the year. We have so many tyohar, so many festivals in Hinduism. And each and every one of those festivals should be celebrated so that we may fall more in love with God. That is the reason why they came about in the first place. Not just so that we could eat good food, a lot of fried food, a lot of sweets, or so that we may throw color on one another. And that's so interesting. So that we may paint our house and clean up because it's Diwali. A lot of people don't even know why Diwali is celebrated. A lot of people, if you ask them, and I'm talking about Hindus, if you ask, why is Diwali celebrated? Oh, well, I don't know why, but I know that we eat sweets and we have firecrackers and we light firecrackers and we eat sweets, we visit people. I don't know why it's celebrated. You don't know about Diwali and the connection with Bhagwan Sri Ram and he came back from the 14-year exile? No. But I'm a Hindu, so I celebrate Diwali. Why do we celebrate Janmashtami? Oh, so that we can hang a pot up high and then we could form a pyramid and then break it. But who did that? I don't know, we just do that. No, Lord Krishna used to do that, so we're trying to depict that scene so that it may remind us about our Supreme Lord, about his mischievous antics, so that we may think about him. There's the external aspect of a festival, and there's the internal aspect of the festival. Just like a person, there's an external aspect, the way he looks, and then there's an internal aspect, the way he is on the inside. In the same way, every festival has external as well as internal aspect. So time alone with God is extremely important. Scriptures and saints tell us that our love for God should be so great, that we should love him so much that tears will flow from our eyes as we hear the songs of his glories and as we chant them. We should love him so much that we would get a lump in the throat while singing his glories. We would get so choked up with emotion. They tell us, love him so much that you'll get goosebumps on your body. You'll be so affected because you love him so much. Our love for God should be like the love that we have for no one else and for nothing else. Because he's the greatest, the love for him should be the greatest. Like a child loves his mother and father first. And then the child grows older, then he adds siblings, sisters and brothers to the mix. Then he becomes a young man, he gets married, Now his greatest attachment to is to his wife. Then they have children, and then children come along, and then the greatest attachment becomes to the child. That attachment to the child becomes the greatest attachment. But when someone understands, when someone starts to understand that God is the eternal relative, God is the eternal father, mother, brother, sister, beloved, best friend, everything rolled into one, then that individual starts loving God the most, because he is with us lifetime after lifetime. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jathare shayanam, iha sansare, khalu dustare, kripaya pare, pahi murare, bhaj govindam, govindam bhaj mudhamate. We have come to the world again and again. We have faced death again and again. We've had different family members, countless family members in the past, and now we have a set of people we call our family. My family and me and my family, my own flesh and blood, we say. What are we going to think about Sri Krishna, who is ours lifetime after lifetime? The one who never renounces us, one who's always with us, no matter where we go, whether we come to this world, to this Mrityulok, whether in this Mrityulok we attain the body of a human or that of an insect, whether we go to hell or Naraklok for some time, or Swargalok, the celestial abode, he's always with us. Unless we take out some time every day to think about these issues, unless we think about all this, we're not going to love him. And if we do not love him, then we are going to be deprived of the greatest happiness, true happiness. Happiness which knows no bounds. Happiness in front of which no unhappiness can stand, no sorrow can stand. Happiness that no one can rob you of, happiness that no one can steal from you. That happiness that is desired by each and every one of us. The giver of that happiness is only God, only Sri Krishna. Yovai bhuma tat sukham, that bhuma sukh, that unlimited and everlasting sukh or happiness can be given only by him. Today we are celebrating his divine birthday, Janmashtami. Some people call it Gokulashtami. It's a very important day. He was born at midnight. We will have festivities and we will have lots of devotion right up until midnight. But all day today, especially today, at least today, let's be very mindful of him. Let's thank him. Let's spend time alone with him. Let's dedicate our thoughts to him. Think about what he does for us. Think about his unlimited mercies. Give him the greatest gift of tears on his birthday. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Kanhaiya Lal ki, Bal Gopal ki.